y'all, it's Cat with Cat Southern Charms. Guess what we're doing today? We are testing a new resin. Y'all have heard me tell you that our favorite veteran-owned pigment company, Eye Candy, you see me use these pastes all the time, has partnered with a made in the USA resin. If you shop through either Promise or Eye Candy, you can get free shipping on resin. And it's made in the USA. So I'm super excited to try this out, y'all. You know how I feel about my Eye Candy pigment paste. I love them. I have quite a few of them. But let's talk about what comes in this. I think this is the half-gallon kit that we got. Yeah, the half-gallon kit is what I got. So it comes with this instruction pamphlet. Talks about do's and don'ts, step-by-step guide, how to remove your bubbles. Work time is 30 to 40 minutes. Full cure, 72 hours. Just like any resin that we use. So that's good. But 30 to 40 minute work time, keep that in mind. It comes with our free little cups, which I love these. I have not gotten any mixing cups like this, and I love it. So it has all of our measurements, our markings. It even tells you 1 to 1, here's your ratios. 2 to 1, here's your ratios. So all the info that you guys have asked me, how do I know what to do? It's all on these mixing cups. So I will be cleaning these out and keeping them. Super excited for that. So it comes with some sponge paintbrushes, which y'all know, if I'm doing my acrylic, anything like that, I love using these to paint that on. Those are great. Then we have, of course, some stirring sticks and much needed gloves, which I already have a pair on. So I'm gonna put these back in here. I'm gonna put all of this back in this little bag, keep it all together. I'm gonna set it out of the way for now. And then we have our resin. And this is a 32 ounce A, 32 ounce B to make a half gallon, which is 64 ounces. So we're gonna try this new resin different ways because I wanna see how it works in different methods. I don't have a clue because I haven't pre-opened these. I'm sure they're sealed. Yep, they're sealed. So they're not pre-opened. So I have no idea if they're thick, if they're thin, how they run. But these are the things we're gonna pour with this new resin to test it out. And I have an extra little coasters and things over here if I need it. But I wanna see how we can do with painting our mica powders on here, and we'll probably use our chameleon powders like I did with the sunset. We have a coaster, we'll do a puddle pour, and do we want to do, yeah, we can do Petri in this one and try that out. And this, I want to do a dirty pour. So we'll use mica and do some dirty pours in here. And this one, I'm going to use my Eye Candy white, the Santori that I love, and I'm just going to pour straight paste on the outside of this heart. We'll make a sunset here, and we'll do white paste on this, which I might add either some of my crystals. We'll figure it out. So that's what we're gonna do. I wanted to show you guys what all come in the kit, what my plan was before I start pouring this resin and getting it mixed up. I'm gonna do some calculations and determine roundabout what I'm gonna need. If I have extra, great, we'll pour it in something else. If I'm under, we'll figure it out. But that's the plan. Go grab your drink, go grab your snack. When we come back, we're gonna have it all mixed together. And I'll let you know if it's thick, if it's thin, what the consistency is, and we'll have our cups ready for our different techniques. Okay, that's what we got for now. So stay tuned. I'm gonna mix and measure all this out, and we'll be right back so we can pour some different techniques. See you in a few. Hey y'all, it's Kat, we're back. We're mixing our first batch of Promise resin, and it is thicker. It's on the thicker side, which means this is a true tabletop or coating resin, which is good. We want a thicker resin for Petri effect, for our flower blooms, for our dragon scale, and for top coating any of our projects. Or if you do canvas work, this is great for that too, because if it's thicker resin, it's less likely to thin and more of your resin run off your piece. Because if your resin is too thin when you're doing a top coat or you're doing canvas work, you can get those little divots or little fish eyes are what we call them, because there's not enough resin, because resin shrinks as it cures. Alright, that's good. And y'all see, scrape my sides down. Gonna scrape my mixing stick because I want to make sure that I get every bit incorporated, and I'm scraping the bottom too. So we don't have any weak areas in our resin. What is a weak area? That means that a separate little part of A is not thoroughly mixed and totally combined with B. So you have that weak little area. So when you pour your resin in your mold, one little spot may not cure. And that's why, because you have a little weak spot. That means you didn't mix everything really good. And we know it's really good when there's no shrieks. It's not shrieking, can y'all hear that? There's no streaks, or what I call little jellyfish. Because when it's not combined, you'll see little, I don't know, other than to explain it's like a jellyfish, you can see little streaks that's not thoroughly mixed. You should be able to see straight through this. And there are a lot of bubbles, and that's something that we're going to check and test with this resin to see how well it releases those bubbles on its own. I don't want to do anything extra. Alright, so this is all combined, and you can also tell when you're mixing. You can feel, since this is a thicker resin, if there's more resistance in one area than another, then it's not thoroughly combined. If it all feels the same, then it's all mixed well. Alright, this is good. So, what I want to do is, well, I'll just leave it in there. I'm going to measure out 2 fluid ounces in my cup for each of these because I want it to be equal. So I'm going to do 2 ounces of clear, 2 ounces of this beautiful peachy mica, and we have a green mica, and we're going to do a puddle pour in our heart because I'm going to try this with some different techniques and see how it goes. But let's get 2 ounces in here. 9, 2. That's good. We'll set that. Trade you out. Take that out. I'm going to put that back in there. Now let's get 2 ounces in here. There we go. That's 2 ounces. I'm going to put our spoon back in. Set that there. Do 2 ounces of clear. Whoop. Got a little more than 2, but that's alright. Actually, let's do 1 ounce of a push. That's good. Good enough. Alright, I'm going to leave this to the side. Move this out of the way. Now, I'm going to mix this green. Y'all look at that green, isn't that pretty? Gorgeous. I want to make sure it's all well, good and combined, no little clumps of mica in there. Scrape my sides down. Alright, scrape my stick. Alright, so the green's ready. Let's get our peach ready. And with this resin, we have 30 to 40 minutes. I would time this as give yourself 30-minute work time. That way you're safe. You don't have to worry about it curing on you. Y'all, isn't that pretty too? That's going to go good with that green. Have a nice little fall piece. Alright. Now, when I do these pours, I do my darkest color first. And I'm going to pour about that. About half of that. Then I'm going to pour my orange or peach. And I'm going to do a push. And that works out good because that filled that up. So, let's, alright, let's do a dirty pour with these. We'll do that. We'll put it in here. So I'm going to do a dirty pour in, let's do green. Can y'all see that? Move this out of the way. So we put green in, I'm going to add orange. I'm going to put some more clear here. Wipe that off. We're going to do some clear. Then we're going to do more green and orange. And you see I'm just pouring this down the side, right? And some more clear. I'm going to do one last layer. Get our green. It's like Miami Hurricane colors. Anybody in? Comment below. Are you a Hurricane fan? What team do you root for in college? Alright, so we have all that done. Move this, put this here, and this is, you can see that, this is a dirty pour, and we're gonna pour from, well, let's pour from here. Look at that, y'all. Alright, and have a little standby. I'm just gonna pour whatever is left in this little ghost, and we're gonna let him just be a random ghost. He's gonna incorporate anything we have left over. We won't call him a misfit. There we go. Okay. So, set this to the side. We'll pour green. What we have left. And this random little ghost. You know, these ghosts are so cute. Are you excited that it's almost Halloween time? There you go. I'm gonna spritz this with alcohol. And see, this is already closing in. That's what we want. We want that to close in. Now we're going to add orange. Get all the orange out of there. Alright. Get back. And a little bit of clear. There we go. That's all for that little ghost for this leftover round. Throw these in my handy dandy trash I have. So we're gonna leave him over there. Alright, now I'm gonna move this guy because I have clear left. And what we're gonna do a Petri effect in this. So I'm gonna pour my clear. Alright, and we're gonna take alcohol ink. Wipe my glove off. Let's do, we're gonna do our blue. And remember the Petri trick, if you're doing a Petri effect, put your white sinker white directly on top of your alcohol inks. Alright, so we'll do that. Let's do purple. And I want to do this reddish purple red. Okay, that's all I'm going to do with that. Let me get my, oop, that's the pearl. Where is my white? Really? Aha, got it. Our white sinker. Shake it really good because you don't want your white caked at the bottom. You want it all combined and mixed up like so. And we're putting these directly over and let it do its little thing, dance around, do all that. I'm gonna let this sit for probably 35-40 minutes so we make sure that everything is combined. All its little movements and dances are done. Put a little bit more over here. Alright, so we're gonna let that dance around, do its little jig, and then we're gonna come back and we'll do our swirl. And we can do a swirl like this, we can do a round swirl. We'll figure that out when it comes time for that. Now, with the rest of this resin, I'm going to add a white pigment paste and I'm going to put it around this heart. And we're going to see how well it does with the paste. Because we've tried the mica, we've tried the alcohol ink, and I want to get a feel for how this does when we do a paste. So, I'm going to do white around that. Which if you are a Miami fan, that green and orange and white are Miami colors. Alright, set this to the side. Get my little stick out here. Remember I tell y'all, stir your paste up so it's all combined. Because some of these additives and all can separate. And you don't want that, you want it all combined. You see I have very little on my stick. That's going in that white. And this is Eye Candy's Satori White. And a perfect thing with them, they have partnered with Promise Epoxy. So if you get your resin through Eye Candy, there's no shipping fee. You just pay for the resin, no shipping cost at all. So we're gonna mix this white in here and get it poured in this little heart. Look, see, I didn't put that much in there at all. Y'all saw very little on the stick, and it covers. It's a very rich pigment, so it doesn't take much at all to get a solid color. See that, y'all? Perfect. So I want to move him out of my way, and let's start pouring this white. And I know this is not going to be enough to fill this up, and that's fine, because I can use this white as a base, and then I can come back and I can add glitter on top of this white once it's cured, or I can add, and I'm going to use the stick, so make sure I get all this out. I can add some colored crushed glass, some of that German glitter glass that's so pretty. I think that's what I did in the last heart, is I used the glitter glass, and it was gorgeous. So there's that. I'm just gonna leave that like so. So where's my, there it is, alcohol spritz, because remember, in silicone you cannot use heat, so no long lighters when you're using a silicone mold. And I'm gonna wipe these sticks down, so clean up so they're ready for the next use. Wipe it all down, put it back in my little holder, wipe these sticks down that we made our color with. And these are sealed. So my wood sticks, since I've already used this with resin before, they are sealed, and you see the color stain on it. That means they're fine. They're not gonna add little micro bubbles into my project. But I'm gonna do some cleanup, y'all. That's what we have for now. I'm gonna come back. The only thing I have left to do is come back in 45 minutes and give this a swirl for our design and let it cure. So when we come back, you're gonna see the finished project, and we're gonna judge, is this new resin thumbs up or meh? We'll see. Grab your drinks, we'll be back in a few. We are back, and we are going to take these beauties out. This has some trimming to get done, no biggie. But y'all, let me tell you, when I mixed this last night, it had a lot of bubbles in it, and I still see some, but it was like not really clear when I poured it. It cleared up really well. And now you see the little rocks and glitters that we added to give it some more character and to match that Miami, University of Miami colors. So let's take our, and I didn't do the base, I'll do that separately, but there you go. There's the base, and you can see we use the Promise resin with the pigment paste here, and I put the rocks and the glitter on top of the white, and then I poured a clear layer. So there's that. I think it's really pretty. Set it to the side. And I had some left over I poured last night. It's still setting up, so we're gonna leave that be. Alright. Let's get our heart out. And remember, we did a puddle pour. And we'll set that to the side. Remember, we did a puddle pour for this, and this is very easy to trim up. And these are not my really good fabric scissors, like I told y'all, but it does the job for now. Alright, I'll trim this up some more later. For now, you can see how easy. Alright, are we ready? That's pretty cool, huh? I like that. It's a wild effect, y'all. Cool. Or you can hang it on the back. You can see our hole. We'll have to drill that out, no big deal. But there is our heart. Now let's look at our thinker. And I have my Dawn detergent and water mixture. And you know it's soap. You see I shake it, there's the bubbles. So break the mold. Not break the mold. Break the seal of the mold between your person, and you just pour a little soap down there, we go. Set my soap up here, and I just want to work it around. See how it's breaking that seal? It's not stuck anymore. Watch how easy this pops out. All I did was squeeze the bottom of my mold, and out it popped. Ta-da! Super easy. I'll clean that mold up later, and I'm just going to give this a quick wipe to get the soap mixture off. Alright, and there is our dirty pour. Y'all, that turned out really good. I like that. So there's our thinker. And this, I will add a top coat, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. But this is the one we put the alcohol inks and the white sinker to do our Petri. It's pretty on this side too. Oh, look at all the bubbles, y'all. That's not very good, huh? And remember, I didn't do anything to treat these bubbles. Like, I did not put alcohol in the molds. I did not spray that first before I put this in. So you can really see a lot of micro bubbles in here. So the next test will be to see how this does treated for bubbles, if it clears up easy. But I do like the effect. Do you see that? That's a cool effect. But you also have the side too. So there we have it, y'all. That is our test with our new Promise epoxy. Everything turned out great except for this. And I'm curious to know if I use my methods to get rid of bubbles, if it will clear up. So that will be our next test with this fun resin. This was straight out of the bottle. Mix it up, pour it. I did spray the back side with alcohol like I normally do, but I did not do anything to the molds ahead of time, and I did not use my heat gun ahead of time either. So there you have it. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Leave me a comment below which one of these is your favorite piece. The heart, the Petri, or the dirty pour. Anyway, until next time, y'all, make sure you do all the YouTubey things. Give this a thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and ding the bell so you don't miss the next videos we have coming. And there's some really good ones. You don't want to miss it. Until then, y'all, happy arting. Ta-ta for now.